Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Well, if you visit Texas in springtime, you ought to expect the wind to blow, and it sure did today. Well over 30 miles per hour with some gusts reaching 45, making it a hard day's work for some and lost hats for others. It was testy conditions at Austin Country Club. Well, hello and welcome into Golf Central this evening. Kyle Robinson alongside Frank Nobile, and we've got a lot to get to in the next 30 minutes. Gary Woodland beat Emiliano Grillo 3-2 yesterday and was set for a rematch of the 2015 final in his second round encounter against Rory McIlroy today, but he had to withdraw before the start of play due to a personal family matter. His agent, Mark Steinberg, has asked for his privacy to be respected at this time. So Rory was given a lifeline, but only if Kelson didn't win his match against Grillo today. So let's get straight out to that one. Grillo was 0-4-1 entering this week. The match is all square and we'll catch up with it. A birdie chance for the Dane at the 10th.
This was a great comeback. He was 2 down through the first 2 holes, but Kelson, who has wielded this putter even in these windy conditions, does it again. Now, 1 up.
1 up through 10. Grillo now 3 down at 13, hitting his second Frank at the par 4.
All sorts of crazy things were going on, and there's a lot of water in play here. Grillo, that's exactly where this would finish up. It's amazing. You get a little cross breeze, and the greens really did start to firm up, and crazy things happen.
That hole would be conceded. Kelson would go on to win the match 4-3. He has had 12 birdies in 31 holes so far this week. Well, with the guaranteed point that Kelson receives from what would have been his match against Woodland tomorrow, he is now confirmed as the winner of Group 2 and will advance to single elimination on Saturday. What does that mean? Rory McIlroy goes home. He will, though, play a match tomorrow against Emiliano Grillo just for world ranking points and prize money that is still on offer. Now, what about Alex Noren? He was triumphant, 3-2 actually, over his European Tour counterpart Bernd Wiesberger today. This bogey putt was to win the match on the 16th hole. Now, the Swede was scheduled to play Francesco Molinari tomorrow, but the Italian withdrew following his second round loss to Thongchai Jaidi today with a wrist injury, with Noren having already conquered the guy who is the oldest in the field, 47-year-old Jaidi. He will now automatically earn a point from the match that was scheduled against Molinari tomorrow, and he too is now guaranteed a place in Saturday's Sweet 16. Well, let's move on and talk about Jordan Spieth. He needed to rebound today after an opening loss to Tanihara yesterday. Let's get you caught up on some action from that match. We'll start with a birdie chance at the par 5-6.
This was a must-win situation after losing his match yesterday. Spieth all of a sudden shows he's up to the task.
2 up through 6. We'll move ahead to the par 3-11.
Well, keep an eye on the reaction here. We always know that Spieth's rather animated. The blustery conditions, he does not think this is the right club. Think again. Marvelous shot.
Shouting as Spieth always does, but right at the flag, he would win the hole and go on to be 3 up. We'll move ahead to the par 4-15, the putt to half.
Yeah, still not driving it great, but he is more than making up with this here. He is competing again.
With that, it's a 4-2 win over Yuta Ikeda, and he spoke to Todd Lewis after the round.
The elimination officially starts Saturday for the round of 16, but for you, it's tomorrow. How do you approach mentally your match with Ryan Moore?
Well, we're going to see what happens at the end of this match. I mean, it won't change the way that I go into my match with Ryan, but I'll know if I can control my own destiny or not by the end of Ryan's match today. You know, Ryan's a very difficult opponent. I thought that was a tough draw, and he's somebody who is in every hole, very smart about the way he takes part of a golf course, and that's awesome in match play and on a tricky golf course. So I've got to play better than I did the last 2 days, and I know that, and I've just got to have complete trust, because why not at this point? You know, it's a win or go home situation. Aggressive swings to the right targets.
Appreciate your time, Jordan.
Of course.
Thanks, man.
Well, we can bet Jordan Spieth was watching the end of Ryan Moore's match against Tanihara. We can tell you what happened. It ended up in a half point, meaning that mathematically all 4 guys in this group are still alive. Ryan Moore was actually 3 up through 8, but the match did end up going the distance. You can see Tanihara does lead the group with 1.5 points. Spieth will play Ryan Moore tomorrow. Let's get you caught up on the world number 1. He went out early against the fellow major champion Martin Kaymer. He was already 3 out by the time they reached the par 3 7th, and this a birdie chance from 20 feet.
Well, it was just DJ not allowing Martin Keimer any room out of the gates at all. That was his third birdie within the first 7 holes.
Made it look easy. He would get to 4 up there. Now 3 up with 3 to play. His third at the par 5 16.
Martin Keimer might rue the decision here. He played his third shot, a lovely pitch to that ball there, which provided a nice backstop for Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, perhaps regretted marking that. He would make a birdie and DJ would win the match 3 and 2. So here is how things look for Group 1. Dustin Johnson is assured at least a playoff, depending on what unfolds in the final round of pool play tomorrow. He is seeking to become, by the way, the first player to win each of the 4 WGC events and has now led after every hole he's played this week. But it didn't come today without its challenges.
It was just difficult conditions out there. It was tough to play. You know, it's tough to judge the golf ball, and you know, it's tough to get it close to the hole. But I felt like I played pretty well. You know, maybe one really bad swing on number 8, but that was about it. It was a little bit me, a little bit the wind. But other than that, I felt like I played pretty solid all day.
And you played solid yesterday as well, and got a tough match against another major champion in Jimmy Walker tomorrow. You win that match, maybe even half that match, and then you advance to the round of 16. What kind of a match are you expecting from Jimmy?
Oh, obviously he's playing pretty well. I feel like it's going to be a tough match. I just need to go out and just play the same way I've been playing. You know, driving it. You know, I've been driving it well, and rolling the putter very well. So keep doing that. It'll be tough to beat.
Well, Phil Mickelson won in decisive fashion yesterday, but how would he fare against the man who beat him to the FedEx St. Jude title last season for a second straight year? Mickelson met Daniel Berger in pool play, but who conquered who in Austin? And with everyone awaiting a Spanish showdown tomorrow, would Sergio Garcia do enough to keep his hopes alive? Today, we'll show you as Golf Central continues.
Golf Central is brought to you by the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best for your game. ShipSticks, the largest golf bag shipping company in the world, simplifying the way you travel.